Today in Land Bait, we're going to be talking about prescribed fire results in a woodland restoration area. So I'm standing in a unit that's about 40 acres, give or take, that is considered woodland restoration. What exactly is a woodland before we move forward? Imagine a forest that is closed canopy, and a woodland's going to be a transition between closed canopy forest and wide open prairie. There's going to be less trees, more sunlight, more herbaceous plants growing. So grasses, forbs, briars, and woody regeneration. So oak regeneration or hardwood regeneration. And these are incredible areas that you can manage for all kinds of different wildlife species. But this farm, we manage the whole ecosystem, but we have a strong emphasis on game species like whitetail deer, wild turkey, and bobwhite quail. And this unit is a west-facing slope majority. There's a little bit of south aspect to it as well. Ironically, this area was wide open, grazed by my grandparents years ago. So it's never been a high quality timber unit. And so we've done some timber harvesting. We've done a lot of TSI over the years. And so this unit has a lot more sunshine. But we did another round of timber stand improvement this past summer. So there's a lot of mid-story trees that have been killed, specifically sassafras, flowering dogwood, hickory, and a little bit of invasive species control. Because it is got so much sunlight, there's a lot of things that grow on the forest floor. So if you look over here, we've got some big flowering dogwoods. And I want to address, people always have a hard time with the fact that we killed flowering dogwoods, but flowering dogwoods are a beautiful tree, great mid-story tree, lots of benefit. I love them dearly. But in our woodlands, in our forests, they have a really strong tendency here in the Ozark Mountains to fill in the entire mid-story. So if our goal is oak regeneration, they don't match up well with that because they pretty much just lower the ceiling and close off any sunlight getting to the forest floor. So we've done a hack and squirt treatment here to remove the mid-story, and a week ago we came through with prescribed fire. So you can still get that beautiful aroma. Prescribed fire was here, and you see all this bare ground. So the goal with this woodland unit was to promote brood rearing habitat for wild turkeys, but also set back the woody regeneration that's been coming on. It's been 3 years since we burned this unit in its entirety, and we have a lot of woody sprouts coming back. And so we're just trying to set those back. A lot of great research is indicating that your fire frequency can help thin back the woody regeneration over time. And so we've done that. We're seeing a lot of herbaceous stuff grow, and it's incredibly beneficial to our wildlife. Now, because of our fire and the frequency, there are pockets that have more oak regeneration, which is exactly what we're going for. We want overstory oak hickory, mid-story oak hickory, and understory regeneration of woody sprouts being a mix of oak and hickory. But with the fire and the open canopy, we have a lot of beneficial species 4 foot and down, which is exactly where our wildlife are making a living, or a lot of them anyway. So as we walk through here, you can see, you'll see a lot of stems, a lot of trunks of trees, and imagine that a portion of them are killed. They're still standing, but they're dead. So we're gonna have a lot more sunlight coming through. When you look at this flowering dogwood right here, once it made leaves last year, it put a big amount of shade on the forest floor just right here. But now it's dead. So the sunlight has the ability to shine right through, which is going to stimulate new growth. We've got some red bud right here that's been hacked. There's a couple of hacks right there. And of course, you know it's dead because it's not pink. There's a few that are still pink, but this one is definitely dead. And so there's more sunlight that's going to hit the forest floor, but we've kept this woody structure, so this would be a prime spot for a deer to bed this fall next to the woody structure, but with the understory growing up with herbaceous plants. We come over here, and this is just one of those great indications of a fire regime here, where you've got one sprout that was growing, and the last fire 3 years ago killed it, and it started growing back. And then we had this one, and fire killed it again. So I imagine there'll be another sprout coming back this summer. And this is just a constant reminder of when you have sunlight, things grow. And if you don't want things to grow too much, you can set it back with prescribed fire. And so this unit is just going to be one of these tremendous units for benefiting a lot of wildlife. It's west facing, a little bit of south. It's going to have prescribed fire. Years that we burn, it'll be great brood rearing. Years we don't burn, it'll be great nesting. Our goal over time will turn this 40 to 50 acre unit into a couple of different 15 to 20 acre units. So we have brood rearing, nesting, brood rearing, nesting, all the way down this whole unit, and really try to break it up, because great rule of thumb is big fire is better than no fire. Small fires are better than big fires. And so we're trying to shrink them down, diversify the forest even more. And but overall, we're getting somewhere here. And it'll be interesting to see, once the trees that we didn't kill leaf out, how much more sunlight we have hitting this forest floor, promoting our wonderful plants that are in the seed bank ready to go.